Okay. How many do Division I? Okay, 2, 3, high school. Okay, so Dave went over a lot of things. A few things I want to talk about is your self-assessment and a realistic self-assessment of what you do. Okay, I get approached by a lot of guys. I look at a lot of resumes. Dave sees them. Other coordinators see them. And we read these resumes and we're looking at them and we're saying, okay, well, this doesn't fit for Division I, okay? But it may fit here. I can make a contact over here. I can call this person. What you got to do is that when you're at this camp or any other camp, you got to understand, it's a slow process to get to Division I. Then when you get to Division I, you may be in the WAC, the WCC. You may never get to the Pac-12 or the Big 12 or the SEC, all right? But you got to understand where your comfort zone is, okay? You may be an outstanding official at the high school level. You may be an adequate official at the JC level. You get to Division III and II, you may not be very good at all right? You got to understand that. You can't move too quick because you get that one opportunity to get in front of me, to get in front of Dave, get in front of Tom Heiler, or anybody else. It's one shot. That's what we're going to remember. We don't get, as he said, we don't get to see everybody. But when we do, we're paying attention. We know that name. We're whispering over here, who is this? And we look at this name. We see something that we really like, it could be just a little nugget, okay? So when I'm looking at somebody that I've gone to go see, all right, that person has a job. This way, I look at it like I'm interviewing. I have a day job where I'm in a Fortune 50 company. I'm in a senior management role. I interview people, and anybody comes in, gets past these certain filters, when they get in front of me, they have a job. They've earned that job. I'm going to hire them until they talk themselves out of that job. And it usually happens about 90% of the time. Okay? So the more they talk, less chance you're going to get a job. All right? So what you got to do is, and even the people that do work for me, they write their own self-assessments. I'm sure you guys have your jobs. I'm sure there's teachers and businessmen out here, bankers, all kinds of people. You write your self-assessment, goes in front of your boss. Boss says, well, it's not matching what I got. We got a problem. Okay? You have to be realistic about where you're at. And don't move too quickly. Okay? There's always going to be an opening for you if you have the skills. You have the skills, you have the attitude, you have the passion and the desire to do it. And the last thing would be the availability, all right? But don't go too quick. It takes time. When you go up into a staff, you're bumping somebody out, or you're diluting the staff and everybody's getting less games, okay? But if you're a good umpire, okay, and let me just back up a little bit. So I had a nice conversation with the commissioner of the WAC earlier this week. Told him I was coming here, we talked about it, and he actually said, hey, reserve some spots, reserve some opportunities for the younger guys, the newer people, and we'll start funneling them up through here, okay? You don't go from this room to the Pac-12. I know that because I have experience with the Pac-12. And maybe the WCC you do. Maybe the Big West you do, okay? But the big boy on the street in the West Coast is the Pac-12. So focus on and be comfortable with where you're at in your own skill set. That make sense? So kind of going to open it up. Any questions?